Wait, hold on. I remember there's something I want to do. Well, he gave me 1337 bits. I'd picked a song. I think it was Brown Coat Jason posted a pirate version of a Christmas song I was going to sing. And I'm still sinusy for those people who missed my last stream. It's a little better. A little bit. A little coughing. Not a ton. Yeah, see? Oh, they can't hear you. They should know your thing is on. Can't hear Star. Maybe they can't hear you. Hold on, let me look. Wonder what that's capturing. It's capturing something over here. Background music. Okay, now try talking. Nope. Nope, you're not talking. Okay, now try it. I think they're only hearing you through my headset. Why is this not working? Nothing's changed here, and it seems to always break.
Quick brown fox jumped
there
over
you go.
Lazy Dog's back.
How about now?
Now I got it.
How about now? Testing now.
Okay, now you got it.
I got it now? I got it now?
Yeah.
Hello, hello.
Yes.
Hello, hello, hello.
You're good.
Hello, hello.
All good. Much better.
Hello. Better now?
Brown Coat Jason
better.
is a Facebook friend, and he posted a song the other day that when I saw it, I thought I had to sing it. I have not practiced the song at all, so I'm going to have to be like reading it here instead of looking at the camera. Not that I ever look at the camera. This is called Walk the Plank, to the tune of Walking in a Winter Wonderland. It's a pirate-themed Christmas song. Cannon fire, are you listening? Pirates board, steel is glistening. Screams in the night, a bloodthirsty fight. Walk the plank, ye scurvy scalawag. In the air, smoke is spreading, while the pirates beheading. The ship it will sink down in the drink as Jolly Roger floats away. On the high seas we can steal some plunder, pillage, burn, and all around get down. All who hear will come and fear the thunder when we and our rapscallions come around. Later on, we'll set fire to the jail and watch the pyre, remembering the way we said it today. Walk the plank, ye scurvy scalawags. Are you in the Christmas mood now? Yar.
Oh my God, so totally in the Christmas mood. Just that. I'm
That's
not
what you needed
at all. I'm not. I mean, it must be seasickness.
Thank you, Catherine Rose, and thank you, House of Mangar. And we need to set a time, House of Mangar. We now have a plan. Maxine is going to be staying with the grandparents after. He'd been wanting to set up a time to get together to grill me again on why I haven't fixed everything yet. And I told him I had to set up our holiday plans before I could do that. They're now set, so anytime before Christmas is okay. Pick a time.
All right,
anytime.
Thanks for the bits, John Marcus. And thanks for the bits, Taiki Vetre.
Thank you, guys.
And we are 1 minute till the start of our weekly live stream.
Now, I'm not talking about anything on the show today, right? I'm just here for color commentary, right?
Yeah, totally. That's, it did not raise my blood pressure just then at all, either. Thanks for the bits, Darton Obscuro. And I know for a fact that you were preparing, so you can't fool me, Mr. Atos. Coffee McCoughs a lot. And with those coughs, we can start our weekly live stream. Welcome, everyone, to our weekly live stream. I am Starlong, a.k.a. Dark Star. Oh, and I'm moving around for some reason in the screen.
And I'm also getting the question bot set up right now, folks, because I probably will not have a ton of content to talk about for Bards. And I know you guys are going to want to ask lots of questions about it, so there you go.
Can I keep talking now?
Yeah, you can get back to talking now.
All right, excellent. Welcome to our weekly live stream. I am Starlong, also known as Dark Star. We have a live stream every week where we get together with you, our lovely community, and we chat about stuff. This week, we have a little bit of a sneak peek. We're going to be talking about Bards, which is going to be our newest skill tree, and it's going to be a little bit before that goes live in the game, but we thought we would talk about a little of the things we have about that. Won't be a ton of content, according to Mr. Chris over there, but he's going to give us as much as he can. And we will show you as much as we can of the episode 2 map. We actually hoped to jump in the game and show that, but Mr. Travis is not feeling well, so he's not going to be on the live stream with us.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Oh, he is here.
I don't want to turn the camera on, but I got it open in the editor if we want to share my screen, since you're missing textures.
Oh, well, then we will be showing some of the episode 2 map. So he is a trooper and would not be kept down. So that is amazing. It's too much, Travis. You're too much.
I'm going right back down after this.
And in these weekly live streams, we also give out prizes. And there are multiple ways to be eligible to win a prize. How many ways are there to be eligible?
I can't believe after all this time you nearly screwed that up. You've practiced that bit so many times now. There are 2.
That's right. There are 2. And the first way is to buy something on our web store, like some crowns. And you can see those in our in-game crown store. The second way is you can just go inside the game and type our not-so-secret phrase, because no purchase required, because that is the law. And our not-so-secret phrase this month is, "The weather outside is frightful." Wow, we've got, yeah. Oh my God, I'm like on a plague ship.
That one wasn't me. That was somebody else.
I'm in the 14th century in an Italian port. I've traveled back in time. The plague ships that sailed from the north of Africa to Europe. So a little bit of history for those of you wondering how the plague started. This is what it sounded like. So you've joined me in the plague ships. I was on a plane recently, and if you ever travel during the holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas time on planes, it's basically, I think, what it was like to be on plague ships in the 14th century. I think it's basically exactly the same. You know, I mean, there might be some slight details that are different, but I think it's about the same. So, anyway, you can be in game and in our chat type the not so secret phrase. Yes, I'm digressing slightly, which is the weather outside is frightful because it is winter, dark winter, and so hopefully you'll win surprise prizes.
Sorry.
One at 4:15 and one at 4:45, and then and so speaking of one of those ways to be eligible of buying something from our web store and spending something in our Crown Shop, we have some fun things in our Crown Shop, including snow papers to lay down some snow, which are getting updated in an upcoming patch, maybe for the weekend, hopefully tomorrow. They got really melty because our artist was trying to figure out a way to give them irregular outlines, and then those irregular outlines crept into the middle, and then I affectionately asked him, did we make Swiss cheese papers? Like I thought we were making snow papers. He took that really well. He really.
Wow.
Yeah, he took that. He took that super well. Yeah, and he took my notes really well, and we're gonna have solid snow pavers very soon now, and not the Swiss cheese pavers, as I affectionately called them. It was an affectionate critique, I swear. So stay tuned for the updated solid snow pavers. They're still going to have a slightly irregular outline on the edge, so it doesn't look like you have like a square piece of snow, but they'll be solid. So there you go. There you go. And a reminder that the Lot D type and size upgrading with crowns is still on sale through the end of the year, along with crowns. Crowns are also on sale through the end of the year. So don't forget to get your crowns or upgrade your lots before the end of the year, while you can enjoy a 20% discount on both of those items. So very exciting time for the winter holidays. And speaking of the winter holidays, we have some exciting things in our vault for the next week, including some of our very first winter holiday items: the menorah, ornate snow family, the holly wreath hat with candles, which would go well with the current December login reward, which is, of course, the holly wreath hat with sparklers. So you definitely need both of those. I mean, it's like a matching set. So you got to have both of those. So lots of cool winter holiday items in the vault. All in honor of the winter holidays, which release 73 is live. Of course, it is a short release because we are not Scrooges, and we like to give our team, I am actually a Scrooge, as evidenced by my Swiss cheese critique to our artist. But I'm only a minor Scrooge, not a major Scrooge. In the boss monster hierarchy, I'm a minor Scrooge boss, not a major Scrooge boss. So I do give everyone does take the winter holidays off. So our final release of the year comes out very, very early, as in yesterday, which means release 73 is live, which means it was a short release, and so it didn't have quite as many items in it as last time, or as a normal release. But we did get player game master tools in, and I know that some of you have already been enjoying the use of those. And Lua, we got some more Lua stuff in, and we polished Tartarus and Sultan, And then we got the release 73 reward items, which are winter holiday theme. And I'm not sure, but I think these may be some of my favorite reward items that we've done to date. I mean, they are up there. I mean, they are pretty fantastically ridiculous. I mean, we have a desktop elf statue with a Yule hat, which is basically our version of the elf on the shelf. And it's pretty amazing. So, I mean, and we have a candy cane wand. So it's a wand that you can use as a weapon that looks like a candy cane. I mean, come on, that is ridiculous. And we have a Yule tree that you hang from the ceiling, which is a real thing. Like, that's a real tradition here on Earth. And I was like, yeah, oh yeah, you've never seen Google like upside down Christmas trees, and it's a European, I think like Austrian maybe, and Scandinavian thing where they hang them from the ceiling. So it's very cool. I had Damon, our artist, make that, and he also was like, "What, is that a real thing?" And I'm like, "Yep, it's actually a real thing." So it's also very handy, by the way, if you have cats. So if you have cats, it's a very effective way to keep your, or as I call our cat during the winter holidays, the slayer of ornaments. So there's always the sacrificial ornaments at the bottom of the tree that we put down there specifically to distract him from any at the top layer. So anyway, all that to say that this releases reward items, winter holiday. I mean, Damon outdid himself. You know, I gave him a hard time about the Swiss cheese snow pavers, but he outdid himself with the release 73 rewards. I mean, they are amazing. Elf on the Shelf, upside down Christmas tree, candy cane wand, and you just have to be part of our reward program to get those, and they are fantastic. If you have not seen them, check them out. They are fun. And all you have to do to get those is be part of the rewards program and log in during release 73, and they will show up, and you will have them, and there will be much winter holiday rejoicing. So, and we have, speaking of rejoicing and winter holidays, we have all sorts of amazing events coming up. So next Friday will be our release 73 live stream, and we'll be posting that on Monday with the agenda. So we're still, and then the set right after that, the next day, will be the release 72 dance party. And I know that is super confusing, but with all these short releases and travel schedules and all that, our release 72 dance party got delayed until after release 73 went live. So it's very confusing. I know. I'm super confused myself. But the release 72 dance party is happening after release 73 went live.
And I will be giving out a few GM potions for that. I've already had a few people request.
Yeah. So, there we go. And also, community is running all sorts of amazing events. So there's a Welcome Quest being run. It's like one of the oldest community-run events in the game. That's in Ordinus Mortis. Then there's the Hit Me With Your Best Shot holiday giveaway, the second annual Novia Market Yuletide giveaway, and then the 5th annual New Year's Eve party, all run by our community. You can check those out in the event section of the forums. And then in January will actually be when we have our release 73 dance party. Oh, you're checking out the upside down tree?
I'm pretty sure this is like an entire country got together and said, hey, let's prank the rest of the world. If we say this is a tradition, then they'll believe it and they won't look into it. And they'll be too embarrassed to question us on it because they don't want to insult our culture.
Yeah. It's pretty awesome.
What about the Christmas pickle?
Pickle Rick, Christmas pickle.
It's a German thing.
The Christmas pickle.
It's real.
Well, there's also a Christmas tradition we toyed with where there's like a thing called the poop log, but I chose not to do that one.
No poop log.
Travis knows what I'm talking about.
I looked it up and it looked unsanitary and gross.
But it's a real thing.
Not in the way you would think. They just they get a hollow log and they stuff it with nuts and fruit. And they keep stuffing it and pounding it in, and then the end of Christmas is full and it comes out the other end? Like, how is that safe to eat?
Yeah.
And why is it called a poop? Well, I guess I can see why it's called
it
poop
poops
log.
Well,
out.
it's like a log that's pooping.
Yeah.
And then you eat it.
Yeah. And I thought that would be funny to like pick a weird, obscure tradition and have that be a Christmas thing for us. But
We did
I
the
chose-
Elf on the Shelf.
we did Elf on the Shelf and Upside Down Yule Tree and I figured that was good enough. That like better than a poop log.
I like how you saw the Elf on the Shelf right away. We were thinking of all the ways we could do it. Make it a cute elf. And you're like, no, just make it an elf from Soda, a tiny elf.
Yeah, right, because it's like make a whole new elf, like make it a cute thing, like the real world. I'm like, no, make it one of our elves, right? Just shrink one of our elves and put the Yule hat on him and put a candy cane in his hand, and it'll be hilarious because it's like our elf who would absolutely never be caught dead in a Yule hat, right?
All right.
Well,
I know you like talking, but I was going to do the prizes.
Oh,
because you've been talking entirely too much here. They're tired of hearing you talk about poop logs and stuff.
I was saving them to listen to your coughing. That's why I was talking so much.
I think that was mine, sorry.
Yeah. Let's see. So, this has actually been updated. Also, I will point out, as of like a day ago, I'm caught up on the past prizing. I think I was like a couple weeks behind. But anyways, those have all been sent out now. So we're actually caught up on prizing until I read this very next name. So I'm enjoying every second until I read the next name, and I'm behind on prizing again.
Well, before you read the prizes, can you see if you can figure out the theme of the prizes? Well, read out the prizes and you'll be able to figure out the theme, I think.
Well, I think they're... Oh, I get it. Okay, yeah.
Okay, wait. You don't say the theme. Let the players figure out the theme.
First, we have a Cordovan harp, which goes to... This guy wins every single time. As someone who gives out the prizes, this guy wins every time. I'm not sure what he has done good in his life, but he's done some good things, apparently, because he always wins. And Pooh.
That's Cordovan, by the way.
Cordovan, not Cordovan.
Is it?
I was thinking it reading like
I see
rich
Cordovan,
Corinthian. Yeah. We're going with Cordovan.
Is that like a coven of witches?
Yeah.
Ornate marching band shirt and hat goes to Gray Meeple. 5-piece one-man band goes to Left Hand Free. Ornate grand piano goes to... Oh, this is an appropriate one. Rinaldi. Large fancy pavilion. The big winner goes to... No drum roll. Goes to... Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo, where are you?
Congrats, winner! And the players totally figured it out. They got the theme that it was Bards.
It was Bards. Oh, okay.
What did you think it was?
I thought it was
Chris?
Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band.
Who are
What?
I'm just kidding. I knew it was Bards.
Oh, okay.
I've seen a few people ask. They realized that we expired all the Christmas trees on the store, so we're talking about. We'll see if we can put one back.
Well, there's going to be another one. The next vault round has a tree in it.
Oh, what day is that?
That's coming up on the 19th.
Okay, 19th. There you go, guys.
You only gonna give them 6 days with a Christmas tree?
There were trees on the store.
You had your time.
But we can put some more trees. Sure, we can put some more trees.
But you do have the 19th, so that is coming. I forgot that.
Yeah.
And there is a build going now that I'll probably push out tomorrow morning, assuming all goes well. There's actually a QA build going right now. I've been working on improving our build process. We've had a lot of failures. It's one of those things I think in the past we've always just kind of like, yeah, we know how to fix that. I'm actually trying to improve the system and make it so we're not constantly putting duct tape on stuff, and also speed it up, which Ravlox is going to be helping me with some of that. We're going to make a trip to the data center next week, hopefully, knock on wood, and swap out the build system from gigabit fiber to 10 gigabit fiber. I know, very exciting. That's all. You can go back to talking now, Star.
No, that was it. That was all I had. It's all you now.
It's all me. What about? It's supposed to be all Travis, right?
No, it's all you. Yeah,
Okay.
it's all you. Bards.
Bards.
And then we'll do Travis.
We can do that. I was expecting to have 15 more minutes to prepare.
Oh.
No, it's all right. I'm
then you can
just
hand it
kidding.
to Travis first.
How about if we'll talk some Bard stuff, and I can drop some information on Bards now, on the stuff that let people hear like what I'm thinking, what I've talked to people about, how I believe it should work. Then we can do the map while they ask questions in the background. And yes, I know there's a few people out there that are very excited about Bards. So let me get my Bard notes up. So for those who hadn't heard, I mean, this is obviously something I've wanted for a long time. I'm the guy that absolutely forced in, even though it only works like 80% of the time, the Bard instruments that are in the game right now, the Bard artifacts. But I've been a long time fan of Bards, not just because I am a singer with a, what's it called, Star? A distinctive voice? No, signature voice. Signature. That's how you say bad voice. I am a singer with a signature voice who likes music stuff. But also because I've always loved them in other games. They're one of those, in whether it's like Lord of the Rings Online has their, I think they're called minstrels and that, but EverQuest has got tons of bards. It's one of those things that it's kind of a class that you see there's actually some people like, I've been Googling Bard stuff, trying to find like in other games, make sure I've got all my bases covered, because they're in pretty much every game and I can't play every game. But while Googling for Bard stuff, I found that there's a lot of people, like a common thing I saw people posting was, does game X have Bards? Because I won't play a game without Bards. So there's some people that are that fanatical about their Bards that they're kind of the, one item voter. They're kind of the one item I care about in an MMO or a game is it's got to have Bards. So
yeah, them and pet classes, totally.
And pet classes. But anyway, so that's one of the things. I know that there's a lot of people passionate about it, as passionate as I am about it. So I had to come up with a bunch of different design choices trying to get into this. So one of the things I'd looked at was actually continuing the system that we have kind of now for the other ones, where you just have to play some music and it'll do a thing. But really, I wanted to break it out into a full skill tree that kind of needed to happen just to make it balanceable. As soon as I make it so it's a system outside the current system, where it's not using the like the skill, the skill buttons, where that's limiting you, and make it something outside that you do outside of the normal skill system, then it becomes something that players will be able to do in addition to whatever they're doing. And as soon as we have stuff that you can do, you can always do this extra thing, there's no downside to it, then guess what? Everybody has to do it, or else they're at a disadvantage to everybody else. So that's what I wanted to avoid. I wanted to make sure we move this into a full skill tree that can be used, but is also flexible enough that some players will feel that they can play that Bard, where they can spend most of their time doing Bard stuff. That it's not, I'm a fire death mage. Oh, and by the way, I also do some Bard stuff. I wanted them to be able to do it, as a full-time thing in battle. Now for those who hadn't really looked at them, the instruments that are out there already, the Bard instruments that are out there already, those are pretty powerful, and the reason how I justified making those powerful is you constantly, you have to have an instrument out and you have to play it for a while, and you can't keep too many things up. One of the things I do love from other games, it's a common concept in other Bard classes and other games, is the concept of spell weaving, where if you want to work at it, you can get a little more benefit out of things. That's one of the things I want to make sure and get into our system as well. I also, though, it's one of those things where I love these ideas in the old days where there's like a lot of skill, and it's like, well, if you work really hard at it, and kind of what we've seen as we've really gotten into things is players like remembering back to those times as the good old days, but they don't want to go back to the good old days. It ends up being not fun and exhausting for most people. And also, a lot of people are like me where they're, I remember that from my youth. I guess in my 30s was my youth or something. But now in my 50s, I get tired of that stuff, and I haven't got the skill and the constantly moving my fingers and doing that stuff. So I want to make sure it's something players can do it and it can be easy. So one of the things that's going to be in there is most of the effects will work similar. They'll be on your skill bar. They'll work similar to how the music instruments work, though, where if you play one, you can continue playing it, and you won't have to do anything else, and you can continue playing a music note. As soon as you use another skill, though, it'll interrupt it. But if you just want to like play one song, like you're in between combat or whatever, and you want to play your focus health regen, then you can just play that, and it's what we call channeling, which is you just keep doing it until something interrupts it. But once you stop doing it, that's when things are going to move over to a timed system where you'll have, now I haven't got the exact math down on it yet, it'll probably be around 15 seconds that is after you stop doing a song that it will stop, it'll continue on.
Or their bloop bloop.
So they'll have to do, but to get the song started, they will have to play them. They won't be an instantaneous thing. They'll take like 5 seconds of using the skill of channeling the skill before the next one comes up.
Too many people just like pull out a flute and play their 2-note song they bought off a vendor and just go doot doot, and it's silly.
Yes. But anyways, so that is one of the things that's going to be in there is you will be able to mix multiple songs together. Now, as I was also thinking about this, I tried to sit down and I think I mentioned players that I was writing some stuff up and trying to challenge myself on some design ideas. One of the things I wanted to come up with, though, is I wanted to make sure that this wasn't just, hey, let's do what, Lotro did, or, EverQuest or whatever game, and take that and copy that over. I mean, that doesn't feel like it fits in our game. I want to make sure that one of the things that comes with it is I want to make sure this feels like it fits in our game. So this is something, I think the way we're going to be doing it will fit, but there's also going to be with the spell weaving, another one that I'm going to be getting in from the initial release is going to be multiple combos within the spell stuff. Now that, how these work is the thing I'm still working on. I want to make it so it feels like you're playing a song, because these just like you have words of power right now, when you're using the bard stuff, you're going to have notes that go along with it. So when you play something, it's going to have some notes that it will play to trigger the effect. Now, you don't have to do anything. All you're going to be doing is hitting the button. But anyways, I want to make sure that there's some spell weaving in there that is actually using a slightly modified version of our combo system, so that the spell weaving becomes more than just even, I can get these 2 effects going at the same time, or maybe a third one if I'm, I'm specialized in it. But anyways, that's the stuff I'm going to be working on, is what those combos are. The ones that I've already identified, I actually have come up with names for some of the base ones. Probably the base skill, and this is also because I'm going through and trying to build out the tree and make sure the tree feels good. But probably the base song in the tree will be Melody of Mending, and these aren't all final names. But that's just going to be the simple, you play this and it increases everybody's health and focus regens. Hey, thank you very much, Aaron Pope. And thank you, Soda Tylor, and thank you, Wolfminch 911 something or another. And there's some other stuff in there too. Gravity, Vahiran. Thank you guys. But anyways, Melody of Mending, that's just the simple what you would expect. You play it and everybody recovers quicker. And again, that's one that for players who are just, you're at some camp or something like that, just having that guy stand around and do something is it helps the rest of the party in between, reduces downtime. So the second one, which is one that is, I think, an important one, which is generating aggro, which is having a bard that can generate AE aggro. This is kind of one of those things that I saw was pretty common in mini games, is Bards being used to anger things. And I think it makes sense, and it also gives them kind of a power, to do some crowd control type stuff. So they can actually generate a significant amount of aggro. My early name for this one, as I was joking the other day, was Atos's Agonizing Atonal Area. ARIA. So that would be the Atos's singing. I don't think there's any mention of Atos in the game, so maybe I was thinking I should get one in there. Some people were requesting some Atos stuff in there. They wanted Atos armor and stuff like that did not nerf them when they wore it. There's also a few more in there. My daughter goes around singing all these different musical notes, like adagio, not notes, but speeds. So there's going to be one in there that'll be an adagio that'll be a slow snare for enemies. And this is one that goes along with the agonizing thing, is being able to basically slow creatures and also generate aggro. So you can pull stuff away. You can do some crowd control type stuff with them. There's another one, Accuracy. I think I called it Accuracy Anthem is what I had down. That's pretty lame, though. Going for the alliteration a little too much. I need to get away from the alliteration. But anyways, that is increases critical hit and spell crit chances for the party. Let's see. I had Let's Battle Him was another one. Another one that I've been looking into the tech for, and I think I've got the tech I need in place to do it. I'm gonna have to work through a few of the kinks, but is right now I think everybody knows we have faction system in the game, not like PvP factions, but animal factions, creature factions. So there's kobold factions and undead factions and all those type things. But this will just be an animal song that lets you change the faction to be a friendly faction. So this is basically an animal charm. It's not going to follow you around. It's not going to stay with you forever. But it will let you do some stuff. I'm sure there'll be some people who will be playing. Is the first thing they do is they go into the scene and try to do an animal charm on the biggest, bear or wolf or whatever, and let them fight a little bit. It will, of course, generate aggro for you as well. But you can, if you have something where you don't think you're going to be able to take a 4 spawn or whatever, well, great. Then you have one fight the other, and now you've got to deal with a 2 spawn.
A lot of people are asking that, yeah. Provocation and Bards were like the strongest class in UO forever, or skill, where you don't fight either of the 2 bosses, just make them fight each other, and then finish off the weak one. So there's your provocation answer.
Yes, and that's... So I've also looked at a few other things, not just making it animals. One of the things, and this is one where it can start getting into some pretty broken, what kind of the stuff you've just been talking about, where, we can't make it too powerful or else everybody has to be a bard. We're trying to make sure people have choices for how they play. But making a creature charm that is one that is very unlikely and maybe short-lived. But if you cast it and you fail, then it gives them an enrage buff, which... players have probably seen. We've got several different rage buffs already done out there that some big creatures will use when they get to low health. But basically it makes them attack faster, move faster.
Can you play any ABC or sheet music you have and choose which one goes to which skill, or are we going to provide tunes?
So that's the one that I'm stuck on, because I really want players to be able to play what they want. Yeah. But I don't want them to have to play it. Again, there's a lot of players. It's one of those things where, you obviously, you're super into the music stuff and you'd love it, but I don't want players to be, I'm trying to make sure it's not too complicated to get started with it. I want it to have some music that goes with it. They don't have to play music. Using the skill plays some notes. But that is something that I would like to have, is make it so you can choose what music. Maybe if you have your own music set, that it'll just play yours. Yeah, that'll play your music instead of playing the notes that go along with it. I just don't want to force it on people. That I think, again, we don't want to make it too hard.
Who's going to be a bard that doesn't get into ABC? That's a valid question. You gotta commit. Maybe a gold vendor that's like, we make the Shroud music, which was all crowd made. Like, we ABC that. Here's some free song. There's some gold song.
Yeah. And again, it'll have something that'll do when you play it. That I'm just going to have some music for it. I just hate the idea of forcing it onto people, because the other thing is, I know you guys will want to do it, and most people want to do it, but if I make it balanced so that there's a reason to be a bard, then you also get into the problem of Okay, well now some people want to do it purely for the min-maxing aspect of it. I know this will shock you, but we have a lot of min-maxer type people in our community who will do whatever they think is most powerful, and the second they see something else that is tasty and might give them a little more power, they're going to switch over to that. Those guys will not care about the ABC side. They will not care about the actual role-playing side. So those guys will definitely not care about it, but... Anyways, I think having both, because that's the other things. I really want to work in some of the stuff that we have with the existing music instruments into it. I just hate the idea of forcing it onto players. So it's going to have some default stuff in there. I'm just trying to figure out how to overload it. Music is another one of those things that I believe I can get into the Lua stuff pretty soon. So that may be one that I let you hook your note playing, just because it doesn't really affect, what music you're playing doesn't really affect gameplay. So that's something that I'm happy to hook up to Lua. As soon as I get the Lua throttling on, which I should have here soon, so I can start giving you limited access to send stuff to the server. But I would love to expose the ABC stuff to Lua, and maybe that's how I also expose that as well. So now players are going to be asking, well, I've got a legendary fleet flute or whatever. What is that going to do for me? So the existing artifacts will be updated so that they give bonuses when used. So there'll be bonuses for the existing skills that'll be in there. I will probably leave the existing or those in there as well so that they still have their old effect. I'm just trying to figure out how I match that in without them doubling up, because there's going to be guess what? There's a movement spell that will accelerate player movement in the skill tree. I haven't got a cool name for it, so I didn't call it out. It's going to be, it's not Rapido. I forget what it is. I just have it down as move speed right now. But the old ones will still have some benefit. Just, again, I'm trying to figure out how to make them benefit without doubling up and doing the exact same thing, and also still be used while you're using the others. The other one that's going to be, that I'm having a challenge with, is I want players, bards, if you're going to be playing the instrument, you're going to be taking out the instrument and you're going to be visually playing it for a while. But I want bards should also be able to fight, and I'm trying to figure out how to balance that. I think that's going to be, if you want to do the fight with a weapon and do the bard stuff, you're going to be doing a lot of, your instruments out when you use your skill, and then the weapons come back out after 5 seconds after you trigger the actual skill. So... And yes, singing is one option as well, but it's hard to sing in-game, and I'm not going to let you guys go spam everybody with your singing. Mine's bad enough.
Is question working? Is exclamation mark question working?
Yes, it is working, and I'm pasting some of those into... I pasted... let me get the latest ones in there. Whoa. I have it at the end of the live stream doc. Whoops. Hold on. There we go. It's now at the end of the live stream doc. But I was saying we should go I know you don't have a ton that you're comfortable showing right now on your stuff. I am glad to show those screenshots you sent already. But we should do the map stuff, and then I'll come back and answer some questions that they put into the exclamation mark question thing.
Sure. I hopped on my editor's open, and I can share my screen if you want. I got in here to do that. If you want.
Let's see. I'm trying to figure out if that's going to look okay.
Do
you think that'll
be choppy?
Yeah. Those screenshots you sent are great. Let's just do those, and you can talk people through them.
Yeah, let's do that. That sounds good. Somebody wants the non-combat pets to be able to loot stuff for them.
That's been in the backlog for a long time.
Oh, so. Sounds like somebody had that question already.
Yeah, so I mean, we want that too, but so cool. Agreed. It's a great idea.
There you go. There's your answer.
Let's see. Griffler asks, "How do I get my Holiday Wax Cylinders heritage tag removed?"
I already teleported a Griffler and gave him no trade ones.
So, that's going to be fixed. We have to do a data migration, though, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably. I'm looking into a way to do it.
I've replaced them, but only a couple people. So yeah, that was my bad. I didn't realize they wouldn't work in the container.
Hold on, I'm trying to...
I want sexy times with pets, okay?
Let's see. Irish Eyes, can we have a Christmas tree back in the store? Yes. Next week there will be 2 Christmas trees in the vault.
How many Christmas trees?
2.
That's good. Did you catch that, Star?
Oh, I get. Oh,
See what we
dude, I
did?
got it now. I did it.
Okay, I almost got it. Almost ready here. They changed a few things in this thing. I'm trying to... Aha! Let me do the stretch to screen.
Do you want me to start talking about it, or?
Talk away. It's up there
So-
now. You can look on your Twitch stream and see what it looks like. It's covering everybody and everything.
So, I took the map that Scotty made after trying a few shapes. I thought, this could be fun if we have boats and stuff. I know I was skeptical at first, so I kept the serpent. So if I have a giant plane that is that original map that I've made this map to from a top-down perspective. So that's one thing. And originally I made it kind of to scale with Novia, but I had to make it twice as big so there'd be any room for like pots and putting stuff down. Adventure scene entrances and pot locations, stuff like that. So I restarted again, and I thought it'd be cool if it's the shape of a serpent. If it looked like some ancient serpent or dragon and try to like pushed up through the Earth's crust and pushed up all these mountains a long time ago, and now it's all eroded and stuff since then. So maybe it would actually happen and it's in the mythos, or maybe it's just like one of those rocks that gets named like it looks like. Yeah, so that's the zoomed out shot. So this is the I don't know if you have the episode 2 map handy. I could throw that to you on Mattermost. Oh yeah, since I'm not sharing my screen. So of the coils of the snake, this is like the head coil of the snake, which is kind of frozen, and there'll be like clouds and weather and birds flying around, things like that, but and probably do a crazy entrance in the mouth of that thing. Will be some high-end dungeon and room from pots and stuff, but like any continent, I think people in video games like, oh, it's the snow continent, it's the lava continent. But if you think of a continent, like they have all kinds of different biomes, so it's not all going to be frozen and wintry. This is just this farthest northeast part of the new continent. Here, I'll put I'm putting there's the map I sent to Mattermost, Chris.
Okay.
And I haven't decided like how much of those mountains you can get up and squirrel around on. Collision on the overworld works a lot different. It's not like pathfinding. It's more we just draw out barriers. Like you can't walk here. So yeah, that snake, the new land it'll match exactly to that snake. So we're looking at the top. And I started early on the tropical zone. I liked kind of what was coming out with Fishing Expedition and like Penmar Island and what was this to Ben's map? The harbor, Tenebris Harbor. And so kind of taking what we learned from that and making some new tropical areas. And then hopefully, time permitting, we want to get some new pot biomes to you guys, like using all our new toys and rocks and trees and stuff like that. So like a new kind of fishing expedition coral reef-ish area will definitely be probably in the middle continent, which I think one of those, I sent a shot of that it's like super early in the development of that. The rivers, the way the rivers flow, I tried to stick to it and I just had to go away from because it was really defining anything else I could do. But I think there's one shot with like to scale with like a person in it, and it's weird working in a scale because it's like the person's too big and then the trees, so it's like kind of a fun art style. I played enough Japanese RPGs with like this overworld map that it's kind of cool. You kind of it's kind of a different mindset to put your mind into, like, okay, these are at a scale, but they look right in like the map world. So that's a person down there, and there's like my scale person as a reference. So still plugging away on that. Gonna finish this arm in the continent, and then work on the tropical parts, and probably have some lava parts and some forests, and true continent with like every kind of like Novia or Hidden Vale, a variety of biomes. So I'll keep working on that, and I'll update with screenshots, and probably in a future live stream when I got more to show and run around. I'm sorry I checked that in or shelved it, and I'm missing some. I think it's light maps. There's some light map corruption, so Chris couldn't open it and run around for you guys, but coming soon. We'll run around on it for you guys with different mobs. I hope. Yeah, we hope that too. We're hoping on. There'll be some variants and reuse of old guys that you guys know, but we're very well. We need to give you guys some new. You got some new art, some new creature types and abilities and biomes and pots, and I think the scope now we're talking about, and don't lawyer me, but 2 to 3 new NPC cities, but Damon and I have to talk and plan a lot about new architecture, and that's kind of a big undertaking too. And some Easter eggs, yes, some Easter eggs. We'll do some Easter eggs, of course.
Yeah, the current write-up that Richard and Sanyo have on it has 3 NPCs, and that's kind of what I'd been assuming we were doing in terms of the NPC towns. But whoops, hold on.
And we'll look at the scope, considering the guys we have to do it. And,
there we go.
When can you start explaining that? When they're done, Snugs? I'll give you the Blizzard answer.
So one thing we are going to start doing is trying to roll some of these things out. Like, this is something I'd hope to get out there on QA at some point, so you guys can start taking a peek at it. This is one of the things I'd said was we will get it done by the end of the year, which of course I think not counting on vacations and also both Travis and I getting sick for 2 weeks or more because we have infectious kids who get us sick.
Yeah,
but
you send them off and they come right back with a mutation of it.
Yes. Yeah, Maxine just got back from a party, and the next day after we had the party, they sent around an email to everybody who was at the birthday party saying, by the way, we just found out that the birthday boy has strep throat.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, of course, I was like, yeah, they knew he had strep throat. They just didn't want to cancel the birthday party. Put a mask on him.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Yeah, it looks like 2.5 weeks, so we'll get a lot farther on it. And yeah, we could get on QA so you can load the level and like run around, and maybe we'll put down some markers for, hey, a pot could go here, and you guys can start. What is it? The land rush, the land claiming. Stake your claim.
Yeah.
Placing picking their spots, and that's the other thing is we're going to try to keep. We're not going to try. We are going to keep QA up to date. That's a big part of why I've been doing all this work on improving our build process and trying to get things more solid, so we don't have to handhold our QA and live builds as much.
Hey, Chris.
Yes?
The player base would like to know when they're going to get a copy of Live on QA again.
It is building right now. It should be finishing up, and it actually has, I'm putting it up there because it has some changes that I made that could potentially be dangerous. Again, this is more stuff that will possibly improve load time a little bit, but definitely improve our build times. Again, that's a lot of the stuff we always talk about, like, we're all always working, but it seems like if people don't see me creating, 5 new features in a week, people get worried. But this has been, a lot of my time has been spent on behind the scenes stuff, mainly getting build times to be more reasonable. Right now, we've gotten to the point that just as the project continues to grow and we continue to have more scenes and we have more content and more, creatures and loot and everything else, we're up to our total build loop from when I clicked the start the build to when you guys can play the game was up to almost 8 hours. So I'm working on hammering that down. I've got that down into the 6-hour time frame now. But I've been looking through some of these things that we just assumed were stuff we couldn't speed up, and it looks a lot of the time is actually spent just copying files between boxes. So we've actually got some new servers going up. But in addition to that, we're improving. Should be getting a 10x improvement in our copy speeds between the servers. The bigger problem was something like what happened last night, which is the copies get so bogged down because they were all on 20 different machines, all working over gigabit. Sometimes talking the same ones, and they would get into a state where they would time out on some copies using curl and some other stuff. And when it failed, there's not a safe way to resume it other than to just start it over again. So last night I expected to have the patch out for the AOE problem that we had, and it failed mid-copy. It failed during the copy part, not during the build. I can't blame this one on Unity. This was actually a failure in a copy that just timed out. So, someone's trying to talk? No? All right. But anyway, so that's going to be...
Prizes.
Oh, prizes. Okay, yes, hold on. But where you should be getting some of the slowest parts of what is currently in the build process are going to be sped up, again, not by a little bit, but by 8 or 10 x speed. Because it has to go between basically the build process. I know this is getting into the boring techie stuff, but it basically will build on one machine. It has to copy it to another machine. It has to then get moved to another machine. And then from there, it gets staged to a torrent box, which is another thing we're going to be working on, which is actually one that Ravlox is probably going to help me with, which is redoing our torrent box that we have, because they are torrent tracker and seed box, because that's where we have to push it out to. And that one is on a really old, no good way to upgrade it 100 megabit connection, which means that it takes 45 minutes to an hour just to put the torrents up so that you guys can get the torrents and we can publish them. If we just get that to be a gigabit, you're talking about going from an hour to 6 minutes. Gonna cough again. All right, I'm clicking the button. I didn't click the button right.
Great. All right. While you're doing that, let's see. John Marcus asked, why does the weekly update post say that you get 1,400 crowns for the Lord of the Isle? That's because it was the original text before we did our multiplier on crowns, and no one ever mentioned it until now. And so I just fixed it and updated it, which reminded me that I also hadn't added the new Festival of the Avatar ticket that you get, ticket and guest ticket that you get when you purchase a Lord of the Isle, that now comes with when you purchase Lord of the Isle. So I added that to the weekly update as well. I also went to the store and made sure that that was added to all 3 versions of the Lord of the Isle bundle. Looks like we added it to 1, but not all 3. So I fixed that as well. So thank you, John Marcus, for finding all of those bugs for us. And I fixed it all here.
I've got some more sexy that I'm adding to it as well, to the Lord of the Isle stuff. And once I add it, we'll give at least a month before we remove it from the store to make sure everybody has a chance at it. But I got to get Star to sign off on some of it. I've got it written out. I just haven't published it for you guys yet. But we have some prizes to do here. Ravlox, do you want to do the honors?
For the prizes, sure.
Yeah, we're going to cut Star out of the picture today.
What?
Okay.
He only delivers bad news. He doesn't get to deliver good news at prizes.
Coswald Dirthmeyer gets a Cordovan harp, and Thumper Ator gets an ornate marching band shirt and hat. Taiki gets a 5-piece one-man band. Scooby gets an ornate grand piano.
Totally unrelated to Scooby-Doo.
And Red Hammer's minion gets a large fancy pavilion.
Woo! And I'm sure that's
Mary
totally...
Dragon
Go ahead.
asks, what is the Festival of the Avatar? Ravlox, what is this Festival of the Avatar?
Yes, I was going to say.
And that feels like that should be an entire show, by the way. At some point, we should do that, to have just like the Friday stream as nothing but talking about stuff. So we'll let you guys get that settled more. But you can give it a sneak peek now.
Yeah, and that's exactly what this is, because we actually haven't officially announced anything. For those not in the know, there's a Council of 7 mysteriously working on this together. Winfield, myself, and a number of the rest of us, including Merrick, Justin and Flair and Tizar, and Sean Silverfoot, I believe, are working together to basically revamp SodaCon. So it's going to be renamed to Festival of the Avatar, and this is basically a sneak peek. We haven't made our official announcement yet. That's going to be coming basically somewhere in the first couple of weeks of January, and we're going to try to tack that into the Shroud of the Avatar weekly newsletter as well, so it'll go out in the mail to give an aspect on it. It's going to be held at least the plans right now. I have to say everything's tentative, so no lawyering. The plan is to hold it on Richard's property, and we have a lot of things planned. I'm not going to go into too many details now because, as I said, it's still kind of wishy-washy as far as the details and everything, and we're going to get this thing documented and give a framework of the main stuff in January and lead up to what we're hoping somewhere in the next quarter, so by, like, say, April, to get tickets out there. Yeah, there you go. So that's everything for now with that. And if there's any questions, you could reach out to any of the people I just named. Winfield is our public information officer. As you guys probably have noticed, he's posting on a thread for SodaCon 2020 ideas, and we will change that thread once the official name is announced and all that neat stuff. Thank you.
All right, let's see if we got any Bard questions in here. This is questions players have been asking with the exclamation mark question. I see one from Ehondas here that is offensive songs like debuffs and dots for bards. Oh, I gotta sneeze. Hold on. Yes, there will be some. I'm trying to decide how it's going to work. I don't really see them as being a DPS class. I see them as being more of an augment others and be an annoyance class. So probably one of their songs. I think I actually had it in there already. Oh, I take that back. I had two songs for them that were kind of hostile. One is just does a constant damage along with generating the aggro, and that was the aggro song that it can actually do some damage. The other one was that a charged song that has a long cast time that basically does an AE push away from the player. So that's one that I was trying to come up with a cool name for. I just have it down as concussive, push AE. That will do some damage and do a push away from the bard. That again is a disruptive thing. So yes, answer is yes to all of that. Now I'm going to do this and blow my nose, because if not, I'm not going to be able to talk much longer.
Let's see. Arturius Magnus asks, is the new overworld a single map? I'll wait till Chris is... All right, okay, muted. Is the new overworld a single map or different maps? So the overworld for episode 2 is going to be a separate map than the overworld for episode 1, but the current plan is it won't be a bunch of different maps like how we have Lost Vale and Novia. It's going to be one overworld with all the various little islands and land masses, but on one single map.
And now that Travis has... Am I on? Yes, I am on. Now that Travis has checked that in so I can actually do it, I'd promised him an experiment. So the plan was to do it as a separate map, but I'm also going to try experimenting with putting it to the west of the Lost Vale, Hidden Vale.
Hidden Vale. Sorry, Hidden Vale.
The west of Hidden Vale, and seeing what that does. The fear with it is that it would increase load times and it would be problematic. If it doesn't seem to, then it's going to be part of that same map, just because it simplifies some things and can reduce load times and some other nice things.
Oh, sure, yeah. But it would still be separate from the main landmass of episode 1.
Yeah, it would be. It would still be separate from the main landmass, and that is one of those things. The whole system we use is to map that stuff is we basically have a big hex system that we have, and that's how we can mark, like, here's where towns go, and here's how we know if you're in the right spot, and what scenes go to what stuff. And that we can just expand that already. That's already mapped out, and we already know where Hidden Vale is and where Novia is, and we already have the spot set out for. We just have to get things. That's, again, one of the things we're trying not to rush too much on it, is trying to get the scale stuff and trying to let Travis get comfortable with that so I can fit the hex to that. But again, you guys should be able to see some of this stuff in person soon on QA. Finger quotes soon. I think my Bard stuff will beat him out though.
Okay. All right. Well, I think we have time for maybe one before we sign off. One more.
Sorry.
I see there's a Lua question. There's another. I see another Bard one. Will there be any chaos music? John Marcus asks, chaos songs messing up everyone's magic.
So there's one already that's I have chaotic feedback like song that is the I forget what it's called, like Prestigio or something like that. That's the faster song rate. But it's basically the chaotic feedback for your party. It's a weaker version of chaotic feedback that can stack with some of the stuff from chaotic feedback, but basically making everybody in the party go fast and also die young. But that's also where I'm putting the Bard tree. I already have the UI. I'm actually in my editor right now. I've got the UI set up, and just like I was trying to figure out, because I'm looking at it, and to me, the Bard stuff kind of fits in with some of the taming stuff. But it also, when you think about like how Bards are kind of, at least going back to classic D&D type rules, Bards were thieves who, switched classes multiple times, and they're kind of like thief, fighter, mage, whatever. Now they're a Bard. But they kind of feel like they have some subterfuge stuff, so it kind of felt like it can be over there. Not so much with the focus, but maybe not so much with the tactics, so it kind of felt like it should be by those two skills. So actually what I ended up doing with it is putting it in the middle between those two. So it's in the middle of all four of them, kind of like Chaos is. And the top one, that was actually one of the themes I was thinking of, is that, this is kind of the Chaos for the tactics tree, was the Bard stuff. So, yes.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining us in this week's live stream. And a special thanks to Atos and List, who are deathly ill, and plague bearers. Again, I feel like I've been on a plague ship from the 14th century. Thank you for letting me travel back in time. It's amazing. Elaine Dragonfire reminds us that the Beat of Novia is on tonight on Virtue Radio. So check it out. Another amazing community event that happens on a regular basis. Cool. So check it out. Thank you, Ravlox, for joining us. And we look forward to hearing more about the Festival of the Avatar. And thank you, community, for supporting us. And we look forward to all the amazing things you'll be doing in our game with the Game Master tools and Lua. We just keep playing and give you more tools to make amazing things. Thank you very much for joining us. Congratulations, prize winners. And now we need to pick someone to raid.
I'm sending some potions for the dance party right now. Potions being the GM potion, so that they can do wacky stuff and summon purple llamas and other fun stuff.
And time stuff?
And time stuff, whatever they want. Let's see. Oh, and I just got a message from Alphane9 saying Friday fight night will be in 60 minutes time, counting down now. I'm going to get him set up as well. He's another one that I think would benefit. And if you don't know Alphane, he's been with the community forever and ever and ever. Let's see. So we got 2 people with events going on. I think, when is the dance? I think the dance is a little later. I'm gonna raid Alphane. Let's see. So he can show the fight night stuff. And where do I do the thing? There we go. Now we're doing the raid. We'll raid him so he can show Fight Night stuff. I'm about to send him some potions. You'll probably see him receive those on air. And also go tag him as GM enabled on the server. But I think we're ready here. We can raid any old time. Go watch him. And hopefully when he's done, he's going to raid the dance party. That I'm also going to send some potions, Eileen Dragonfire. But I think we're ready. You guys ready? Are we ready?
Let's do it.
All right. Guys, thanks so much for joining us on the stream. Hopefully I'm feeling well enough. I'll probably do my Monday, Wednesday stream next week. But I guess I'll see you guys then. And you guys will see all of us on next Friday. Talk to you later. Thanks for all the support. And look for patch first thing in the morning. And QA going live later tonight. See ya.
Dark Winter. Dark Winter.
Dark Winter's over. Dark Winter's over.
No,
No,
it just started.
okay, here we go. Bam!